to Smoking Gnome Barbecue. I got the smoker just starting up. I got the prep table ready. Today we are going to do our own country style ribs out of a nice big pork butt. So I'm going to go through the steps of just kind of butterflying it open. We'll cut it in strips, we'll season it, we'll cook it, and should be ready to go in probably 3 to 4 hours. Oh, we're also going to use more of a hot honey and some more spices, some chili onion crunch, Costco product obviously, and we'll put a binder with some avocado oil, and we should be good to go. So before I choke myself out, I'll seal this up and we'll get started on the pork butt. All right, so I'm doing this under an umbrella that I set up because it's a hot day for Washington anyway. We're in the mid 80s, so it's super nice. We've been waiting for this, but I sizzle like bacon, so let's not do a cooking show about cooking me. So, all right, so we got the pork butt. One thing you want to do way before you get this thing out of here is pat it dry. So get some paper towel, and then just make sure to get everything as dry as you can, because once you rinse it off, the moisture stays pretty attached to this. So best way to do this is just get a bunch of paper towel and just pat everything dry with that. It makes it a little easier to handle. So, and then once we get the avocado oil on there, it's even much better of a binder, so the oil's not just sticking to that. All right, that's really good. And we'll probably use this paper towel again, so clean it up. Hey, Scout, we're babysitting a dog, so he's he's over here drooling. All right, so these are already pretty much butterflied, so there's your guide. And so you want to come down to here, but you just want to fillet it open, and then I'll show you. So get yourself a sharp knife and follow that slice right there, and see how I'm just kind of pulling this back at the same time, and then this just butterflies open. So you get this all the way to the end. Pretty close. And this will just open right up for you. So there's a little bit left in there, so we'll just keep going right here. And there you have it. So now you got a couple of thicker spots, which is okay. Now this is the straggler end, so there's some really good piece of meat in here. So follow along this edge and cut that right off. And then we can use this for burnt ends, or we can even make some smaller pork ribs out of that nice chunk. But there you have it. So this side got a little thick, but we'll get to that in a second. So we got a lot of fat still on here, which makes these ribs really good. And then just start cutting them into strips. The strips that you like. Look how easy this is. So there's one country style rib. Now this one's a little fatty, so if you don't like that, go ahead and trim it off. Well, I'll trim it off later, but just keep going. There's a nice fat cap that's sticking off, so throw that away. And then just grab another one and make it, your own size. And you guys get the idea. I already got to sharpen this knife. So this is what we're starting to go after right here. And then make them about a finger and a half thick, just like you like country style ribs. And just keep going until you finished the whole thing. All right, I'll keep prepping this, and then we'll show you how to season these guys. All right, so all those straggler ends that I did, I'm just gonna do burnt ends. So, and these are just good quality chunks of meat. Some have a good amount of fat in them. This one I'll keep up on top, and it'll render down into these. Then we got our country style ribs. These are beautiful, big chunks of meat, solid stuff, which I prefer over the other ones. And then that end cap that we had up over there, or the loin, I guess that you want to call it there, it wasn't as long as these, so I just cut them into nice thick pieces. So these will definitely cook probably as fast as these. So all right, let me show you what I do as far as seasoning. So I'll transfer these to another pan and we'll take it from there. All right, so the binder I like to use is either yellow mustard, but we're out, and avocado oil. I love using any of the oils. So all you got to do is just sprinkle this just a little bit on the top of every one of these. Now, your hands are gonna get sloppy dirty, so be prepared. And then just rub these down. Now, Kinder's hickory molasses. Man, it doesn't get better than that. So, but before we do that, this chili onion crunch at made by, or Spice World, whatever, at Costco, man, unbelievable. Now it's got oils in it too, so it's another good binder, but it also has big chunks of all sorts of chili flakes in there. So what I like to do, make sure it stays stirred up, because it separates pretty easy. Then just take your little baster, dip it in there, and then just 1 or 2 swipes on each one. That's it, not very much. But the rest look pretty darn good. All right, now take your Kinder's hickory molasses and cover the top. And this is all it takes. You don't have to douse it and bury it in there. Some people do, some people like it that way, it's okay. But if you want this flavor to come through, then don't worry about it. It's going to just a little bit. Now, flip it on over. And there you have it. We'll save the rest for the burnt ends. All right, let's get this thing. All right, so this looks like it's gotten up to temperature. It's going. I set them again at 235 degrees. We're gonna slow. Oh yeah, this is going really good. All right, let me not get in the way of the camera. And then we're gonna put these on and set it and forget it. All right, so let's season up these burnt ends. So eventually I'm gonna cover them and do everything, but I'm also gonna soak them in butter, or cook them in butter so they render. But I am going to just put them in this pan. And I ran out of aluminum, so I'm just using this glass pan. And this should be spread out plenty. There we go. And then the same thing, just a little bit of oil. That pretty much covers it all. So we're good to go for those. All right. So now let's put, I got 1 part of stick of butter in here. So we'll use this. Just put this on the bottom. And then I'm gonna cut another piece out of some more. And we'll do just 2 of those. Maybe 3. About that much. Cut that in half. And we'll put this one on this side. And we'll put this one in the middle. All right, so that should cover it. Now, what I like to do is leave, when I put this on there, I'll leave it open on the top, and then we will watch them for a while, let them cook, and then once it melts and gets, covered and smoked, then we will cover the whole thing and then just let them bake that way. Let's get the burnt ends, set those up on top, let them smoke. we're good to go. Now you could elevate those burnt ends up off of that and get them to kind of, but we want them to render in that butter for a little while and get nice and tender. So let's come back and check them out in a couple hours. All right, so here's where the magic starts. So I checked the temperature of these and they're getting closer. So they're about at 180 degrees. We want everything to be around right at 200 degrees. So I'm gonna take these out now, and then I'll show you the pan that I put them on, because they've been sauteing in that butter long enough. So let's switch this view and I'll show you what's going on. All right, let's get these off the smoker and I'll show you what's gonna happen. All right, there we go. Careful, they're hot. Okay, so get you a pan where air can get up underneath, and then get you can flip it this way kind of, but it doesn't fit as well. But it's okay that way. But even if you put it this way, it's elevated off of there. So you want the airflow to get underneath there. And then transfer all your goodies, I'm gonna get it closer here, onto this pan. Okay, so we got that out of the way. I'm gonna take these gloves off. And now we will take our hot honey barbecue, best in the world, Kinders, and we will drizzle these. And just let this do its own work. Once this heats up, this will coat everything. You just have to put a little bit on top and get it nice. And then once we put it back in there, this will caramelize a lot better. And then we'll probably have to flip it one more time. And then we'll caramelize the other side. And notice how I kind of put the well done side down already. So we want this other side to, there you go. That's all you got to do. And we'll put this back on the grill and probably be about another half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see. Just keep watching it. Real quick, before I forget, I wanted to show everybody that didn't see this, but this is actually how I power my smoker. It's just a little portable battery pack, and this is an old one. I think this is only 4,000 milliamps, maybe 5,000 at the most, something like that. But yeah, I think it's 4,000. Anyway, I've used this on a full charge. This isn't even fully charged, and I did these ribs, but I used an adapter that is USB that plugs into the bottom of this. That's the same as the 12 volts, plug style. Got it off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. And this is all I've been using to power my electric smoker, and all it does is power the 12 volt fan in there and then regulates temperature. So this has been wonderful, and I've used this, the longest I've used this size on a full charge is 12 hours, and it still had juice left over. So, and I did a full pork butt on there, and I did change it out when I did a brisket once, and I think I did it for 21 hours, but this has been fantastic. So if you get a bigger one of these power banks, it just plugs right into it, plugs right in underneath, powers this whole thing up, keeps the temperature, and you're good to go. The great thing about this is I can take this anywhere. If I decide to take this camping, or if I take this to an event, or anything, people want to party at the beach, or you name it. Now I made this charcoal smoker absolutely portable, so. And I don't have to run a cord. It's not near the house. I don't have to, no trip hazards, no anything. So this is the thing you got to do, guys. It works really well. All right, let's check the temperature. And there we are at 199, 202, perfect. This other guy, 195, 201. Looks like we are done. Put a fork in it. Now these thick ones are still up there a little bit, so we'll leave those on. and then we'll transfer the burnt ends on the way down. So let's take these off. All right, let's put these there. There you have it. Country style spare ribs, just from a pork butt. So a little more barbecue sauce on there. We'll let that set and rest for a little bit. Get this out of the way. These things are just as tender as can be. How simple is that, huh? Let's zoom in on that. Look at that. That's just yumminess right there. Wish we had smell-o-vision. Oh man, that's good stuff. All right, we'll wait for those burnt ends, and then we got a pasta salad that we're gonna match with this. Bon appetit, man. It's time to eat. Looks like it's done. So let's plate these bad boys. Burnt ends. We're in there a little longer. We've got country style ribs matched up with some pasta the wife made. And a couple of really good burnt ends that are actually a little burnt, but tender in that butter. So let's, you know what? I'm gonna have one more of those ribs. There we go. There is the plate of the century. So good, easy stuff. So a lot cheaper than buying country style ribs already prepared. So you cut up your pork butt and just kind of fillet it open, butterfly it, I guess, and cut it to your desired thickness, and you're good to go. So, all right, thanks for watching, everybody. Smoking Gnome Barbecue. Like and subscribe. Good stuff. So tender. Life is good. Thanks for watching.